Hi guys, you're welcome back. Germany is calling. There is free education, a salary during training, and a guaranteed job at the end of your training. That sounds like a dream, right? But what if I were to tell you that if you choose the wrong Ausbildung or the wrong vocational training, it is going to leave you broke, you're going to be burnt out, and you can even face deportation. And that is what nobody will like to experience. In 2026, the market has changed and everything is moving in a different direction. Everybody is talking about the best programs and what you should be doing, but nobody is also touching on those vocational trainings that you should avoid, especially as a foreigner who wants to move to Germany and make a life here. Today we are talking about 5 vocational training positions that you should avoid, and they are like a trap. From low salary or salary traps where you cannot be able to pay your bills or even foot your living here, to difficult situations where maybe you face problems with immigration or even with high dropout rates. And that is what we are going to be discussing today, so that when you know these and avoid them, you are going to make choices that will help you achieve your dreams in Germany. And so, if you have not yet signed up for your vocational training, if you have not yet signed a contract for your vocational training, first of all, watch this video before you continue. And so, if you are new to my channel, I'm going to invite you to hit the subscribe button and also share the videos when you watch, and leave a comment and also leave a heart or a like. That is going to give me an impression. That is also going to let me know how I am doing and how much I am serving you through these videos. The first of these positions I'm going to be talking about is the low stipend retail trade positions. What am I talking about? There are positions that are offered by supermarkets and small clothing shops, which are easy to get. Like the lowest requirement or the requirement to get these positions is maybe B1 German, and somebody could hear that and say, wow, this is simple, I'm not going to stress a lot, I can just get these positions very easily. But the problem here is that the salaries are always lower, and because of this, and I am talking about ranging from 800 to 900 euros per month. And if you're going to a big city, this is going to really be a problem, because the living standards will not change because you are earning a lower salary. And as a result, you are going to suffer. And then the foreign office, or maybe even talking about the embassy, which is supposed to process your documents, will see that yes, your salary is not enough to maintain your living standards. And as a result, they will ask you to create and put money in a blocked account. And that will already defeat the purpose of earning while learning. And so I am advising that if you are to come in for vocational training, if you're interested in these kind of area, to become a retail trade person, be focusing on big chain supermarkets or those companies that offer these positions but can pay well. I am talking about supermarkets like Lidl. Those are the ones that pay very well, and you're not going to be having problems with your living standards because you will have a good salary. Don't only look about how easy it is to get these positions and forget that when you get out here, you are going to face the real life, or even you're going to start facing problems with immigration. So that is why you should be thinking of bigger supermarkets or bigger companies and not looking at small shops, because they will not be able to pay you a very high salary while you are training. The second position I'm going to be talking about, which I will say you should avoid going in for these positions because it can become a trap, is becoming a hairdresser. I know there could be a lot of passion. You could be very passionate about being a hairdresser, and also, I mean, you love it, but the problem is that there will be very low return on investment. And consistently, this has been shown to be one of those positions with a very high dropout rate. So much so that a lot of people do not complete their training. And also, what you're getting, that is the salary, what you're getting as a stipend during training is very low, such that you cannot even be able to live well while training. This is not asking for too much, but just to be able to get something that will sustain you during training is what everybody is looking for. But if you are to be earning something between 600 and 700 euros a month, how are you going to survive with that in the present economy? So what I am saying here is, if you do hairdressing, even after training, most times your salary is below the minimum wage. And that will make it so difficult for you to be able to get permanent residence or an EU blue card. And also, your career path is not very clear. You don't have any vision for the future. And that is very difficult for anybody who moved from another country to come here to be able to make a life. So, what I can only advise you is that if you're coming here from another country, you should be avoiding such positions that are going to keep you stagnant and not be able to let you grow and be able to let you earn what can make life better for you and maybe have prospects for the future. And remember that even as a hairdresser, it's going to take a toll on you. You're going to be working for long hours and you're going to be standing for very long hours. You're working with chemicals, and this is not just going to be easy if you cannot even offset this with a good salary at the end of the month. So avoid such positions that are going to keep you at one position, and that is what I'm bringing to you today. The next position I am going to be talking about is hotel management in a small village. Remember that I'm not talking about hotel management as a whole, but hotel management in a small village. Take, for example, you are coming to do vocational training in a small, in a forest somewhere in München or maybe in one mountainous area. Remember, these positions are always easy to get in those small hotels. But the problem here is you are going to be isolated in that village. If you go to a village maybe with maybe 500 inhabitants or less, maybe because it's a touristic area and people always move there, so there is this family hotel that people will always come to visit. Yes, they will want to take vocational training persons, but the point is you are not only going to be earning a low salary, but you are going to be working very long hours. It will start like flexible working hours, but you end up seeing that you're working like 60 hours a week and there is no overtime pay. And again, you are not integrating because you are lost in that village, and it will be like life has been blocked for you there. And if you don't have a car, which I can assure you, you will not be able to get with the kind of salary you have in such a position, you are going to be stuck somewhere because in most of these places, public transport is not very easy to get there. And so, all what I'm saying is that you should avoid positions that can make you get stuck somewhere and you're not able to see the prospects of growth or even moving out. Because if you are coming to Germany or if you're going anywhere, you should be ready to integrate with the people and live with the people to be able to develop yourself as well. And if you cannot achieve this, then it is defeating the purpose of going out to train and to live in another country. The next position I'm going to talk about is avoiding assistant roles. Avoiding assistant roles. The question is, why will you want to become an assistant when you can actually be the specialist? Now, a lot of people are fascinated with the fact that, oh, they are coming to become an Altenpflege helper. That is a nursing assistant. You just hear nursing assistant and then you think, oh, I am going to become a nursing assistant. But why do you want to become a nursing assistant when you can actually become a nurse? This is the trap that these agencies or agencies that take people or send people abroad try to encapsulate you in. And then because you know the visa requirements are simple, you say I'm going in for this position, but you are going in to get stuck somewhere. You're going to be trained for 1 year. Know that you are not going to get the same requirements or you are not going to get the same qualification as somebody who trained for 3 years. And when it comes to the point that you want to get further documents like maybe permanent residence or EU blue card, you are not going to be placed on the same platter like somebody who trained for 3 years. So this is something that you have to be very, very careful about and avoid such positions. A 1 year training, yeah, you might say, yes, just in 1 year I'll be working. but think of how much salary you're going to be getting from there. Think of what will happen when you want to get further documents here. These are things that you should think very fast and be able to avoid them, so much such that you don't get stuck. And remember that for such positions, like nursing assistant in particular, you are going to be doing the hardest work, but with the lowest pay. Doing the hardest work with the lowest pay. I know a lot of us will say, yeah, but I will already be abroad and then I can look for my way. But think of the time you are going to lose in the process of doing that. And so don't take the shortcut. Go in for the 3 years. Don't say, okay, I'm going to B1, it will be okay for me to get a position. And then you don't go to B2 or you don't learn German up to B2 because you could do nursing with B2, but you are taking the shortcut. Don't take the shortcut. Go for what is going to be helpful to you. And the last of these positions that I'm going to be talking about is the bakery or the pastry chef. The bakery or the pastry chef. Now, Germans love this because they don't play with their bread. In fact, there are thousands and thousands of different types of bread that you can find in Germany. That is to tell you that they really value this profession. But the issue now is that vocational training in this position has been shown to be one of those that has the highest dropout rate. About 30 to 40% of those who start vocational training in this area drop out along the way. And for foreigners, it becomes even more difficult because in the Berufsschule or in the professional school, they are going to be teaching you in very deep German. Chemistry, maths, in all this very deep German, and you will not like to experience that. That will be difficult. And again, the pay will not be so much. And so you should think about that and think of how you're going to position yourself. One other most important thing which you should consider here is if you take up such a vocational training, remember that you are going to be starting work between maybe 1 a.m. and 10 a.m. And then during the day, you are sleeping. I have experience in this area because when I was a student, I did a part-time job in a bakery for 2 months. And after those 2 months, it was like my whole world has turned around. Why? Because we were going to work at 12 midnight and closing at 6 a.m. That one we were even closing early. And you do that for 6 days a week, meaning that the whole day you have to come back and sleep. Meaning you don't have life during the day, you rather have life during the night. That will make integration so difficult for you. And why will you go to a place where you will not want to integrate? And also, will you be able to turn your life around? I mean, turning your life around means the way people normally live, like active during the day and then sleep during the night. It is very difficult. I am not in any way degrading people who work in this profession, but I am just telling you what it will take to be in such a position, such that you have to make your choices, so that you make your choices carefully and it will also be helpful to you. These positions that I've enumerated are not in any way bad. That is not what I am saying. I am not communicating that these are bad positions. No, I am just saying that as a foreigner who wants to start life from scratch, you don't want to get into such positions that you will be having problems with immigration, or you will not be able to integrate, or you will not be able to get enough money to get your permanent residence when you want to remain here, or to get the EU blue card. But you should be going for positions that you can earn maybe above 1,000 euros a month during training, so that you can be able to food your life here. And also positions that are in high demand, like nursing, mechatronics, and IT. And also positions that you are sure of a career growth process as you continue to live. Because take, for example, you were to do vocational training as a bakery chef. What are the prospects of progressing in future? Or you were to do training as a hairdresser. What will be your prospects of progressing? So if you're thinking of growth, if you're thinking of achieving more or doing more in the future, you should avoid positions that will keep you at one position so much such that you cannot be able to move from there. That is the goal of this video such that you learn and understand what you should do to be able to achieve more when you get out here, especially as somebody, I mentioned it before, somebody who is starting life from scratch and wants to grow. So if you are new to my channel, I will say that you hit the subscribe button and keep spreading the word. Many people will not talk about this. I already made a video talking about the kind of positions that will help you earn much more during training. You can check that video on this channel and it is going to help you. And if you have any question, you can drop in the comment section and I will be able to respond to you and we can connect and move from there. Thank you very much for always supporting Senator Kelesi and you watching these videos.